Special shout out to Jones Junction in Bel Air, Maryland. Be sure to give them a look up and be sure to ask for Jeff if you are in the market for a Toyota or any vehicle in their complex. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to officially drive this 2022 Toyota Tundra. This is going to be a platinum. This truck is almost $79,000 guys. And I didn't go over a few things on purpose in the last video just so I could kind of give my impressions for this one. One of those things was this does have heads-up display. Now, as far as the suspension goes, this suspension is newer for 2022. They do have air suspension and this truck has that. And of course the twin turbo V6 is new. This 10-speed transmission hasn't been equipped in the Tundra, so I'll give my impressions on that too. So all in all guys, there's a few driving modes I want to kind of touch base on too. And yeah, that air suspension is probably the biggest thing for me because I'm a huge fan of that system for other trucks, and I think that Toyota adding that, they made a good decision doing that because of, you know, truck squatting and things like that. So let's go ahead and put it into reverse because this is something I didn't really show you guys in the last video. But you do have a backup camera and it's very clear. I mean, this display is huge. I like the layout down below. You can turn off the 360 guide if you don't want it, or the bird's eye view, whatever you want to call it. You do have some other camera views if you want to check on your cargo. You also have some camera views down the side of the truck going back and forward. So if you're going off road, you can see where those tires are. And this is where your conventional hitch would be at. And then this is like that forward facing camera that you guys saw in that last video. You can turn off the lines too if you'd like to. And I do have automatic too. I think this is when you are turning. I had a Toyota Land Cruiser, had something similar to this. And when you turn the signal on, the cameras would come on either side for you. All right, so let's go ahead and get down the road. The steering wheel feels extremely easy to turn at low speeds. Hopefully as we drive it gets stiffer. I don't like really loose steering wheels at higher speeds. One thing I do notice too is these windows are really big. The A-pillars are small. Oh yeah. This truck has a really nice feel. This truck's riding on some Bridgestone tires. 265 tire, 20-inch wheel. I had the cool seats on when I was doing the review. Let me turn them back on again. Oh man, this thing has a nice growl. Oh wow. Wow. Has a nice sound to the V6 already. Or maybe it was that Audi. No, I'm just kidding. That's the SQ8. So, as you guys can see, all in all, this is really easy to work. If you want to see some fuel economy numbers, I can actually reset this too for you, just so you have a better idea of this. But yeah, so far, visibility is great. If you look out back, the rear window is kind of small. I never checked to see if that rear window still slides. In the comment section, does that rear window still slide? I wonder if it does. I'll find out in this video because I did not look last time. Now, one thing I noticed that this truck has is this high definition rear view mirror. So if you like that, you can get that on the Toyota Tundra. The truck is really quiet on the inside. I've been hitting some bumps. The suspension is it's really just absorbing that impact on the road. It's really good. Now here's a little performance. Okay. There's a little bit of delay. I think this truck may have a little noise maker. There's no way this V6 sounds this good. That was the first thing I was gonna say in this video was, oh, I'm gonna hate the way this thing sounds. And I'm not feeling that right now. This thing, it sounds good actually. It sounds really good. I mentioned this, I believe I mentioned it on the walk around. I would like to see a convex. If you wanna set the mirrors, you can do it right here. Now, you do have a brake hold. So you can take your foot off the brake while you're waiting at the red light. And then here's the other mirror on that side. So this is something I would like to have in all my cars, is a brake hold. That way you can just relax your foot a little bit, stretch it out, get all the cramps out of it. And you can close these mirrors automatically too on both sides. I did not show that to you in the last video. And you can do it automatically too if you like. Alright, so let's go ahead and check out the first driving mode, which is going to be the Sport S. So the only thing it changes is just the engine and transmission. So we're going to go to the Sport S Plus because it changes the suspension. So we're going to go to that one and we're going to see how everything flows. The engine is really quiet. I wonder if they show some temperatures in here. Oh, here we go. So when you want to go, all you have to do is just hit the gas pedal and then it just goes forward. So that's pretty cool. Now there's a Ram up there. He's trying to race me. Wow, this truck is strong, guys. It's hard to believe that this is a V6. That it sounds good and it has that grunt. It's really good. Wow. Now, as I said in the last video, this truck does have a 331 axle ratio in the rear, and that's going to really help with fuel economy. Normally, I like to see 392 or maybe a 410, but what's really cool about this truck is it has a 492, I think it is, first gear, so it's really deep, and that's going to really help with if you're pulling a trailer, getting off the line. And so you don't really sacrifice fuel economy having a higher axle ratio all the time. So transmission is really, really strong. You don't feel the shifts, and yeah, all in all, this is a really, hold on real quick. I hear like a rolling noise. I hear a little noise here. Sorry. I hear a little noise from the sunroof. It could just be me though. I mean, I'm not saying it's the truck, but it might be, it wasn't closed all the way, so we'll check it one more time. But as I was saying, the transmission is really smooth. Even when I was coming to a stop, I didn't feel it shift. Now, you can shift it on the shifter here, if you like. I just noticed I was kind of going over the white line here, and the steering wheel just steered me back over here. Let me see if it'll do it again. It steers itself, which is nice. So, one thing I hate about Toyota transmissions are, when you try to shift it manually, it doesn't work that well. So, let's do it one more time. So downshift. It's a little slow. So now, shift, doesn't shift, shift. So that's the only thing I don't like about this transmission, is that it's not responding to me, it's doing what it wants to do. So, and that's something that all Toyotas do. If you try to shift them manually, they don't react well. So I don't like that they do that. I haven't really felt a huge difference in the Sport S. So we're gonna go back down to, let's go down to normal. Actually, let's go to comfort, because that's gonna really adjust the suspension too. Oh yeah, I just hit a nice bump just now, and nothing, absolutely nothing. This is a great truck. I think Toyota is just, if they would just continue to redesign their cars quicker, I think they would take so much more market share over the other brands, because the old Tundra, I mean, it was time a long time ago, and they just waited a little too long, in my opinion. And this is just a good iteration of advancement in the Tundra. I mean, it didn't just take a leap, it took like 3 over the last generation. So I'm really happy with this. This truck, it does have a little bit of a little noise, and it could just be something that could be fixed at the dealership too. Like sometimes when a car is new, this is normal stuff. Like sometimes you have to readjust the doors, so there's no exception to a sunroof too. So you may have to take it in and just have them just redo the lining around it to make sure it has a nice seal. But if you open it up, that noise goes away. That's why I think that it could just be like a seal that needs to be redone. All right, so you turn your signal on. It should disable your lane keep assist. And brakes. Oh yeah. They're not touchy. You don't need a lot to stop either. Like as soon as you start touching them, you start to feel a little bit of resistance, and they feel nice and smooth. Now, as far as your fuel economy goes, we're actually at a gas station. Would be a good time to check out your fuel economy, right? Let's take a look at the sticker real quickly. This is a huge improvement over the previous Tundra, especially in the city. All right, so I just stopped at the gas station. That was a bad idea. I got stopped by like 20 people just now, literally. Like, people love this truck. As you guys know, anything new is gonna have a addendum on it, so it's gonna have a little bit of a markup. So this truck, it's like $67,000, and with the $10,000 markup, it's about 78 grand, or I think it is 78 grand. So there's something to think about, you know. Oh, I just hit that yellow line there. I think that if you're in the market for a Toyota Tundra, this is a great option to have. On the back road, I feel like the truck is just really just floating at. It does make a difference going from comfort to Sport Plus, or Sport S Plus as they call it. When you're in comfort 2, it really does make the bumps not as harsh inside the interior. I'm going to put it back again in Sport S just to see if I can feel another difference here. Again, the brakes feel really solid. Yeah, it has really good torque down low. You will have no problems, you know, getting this truck up and going. I wonder how it would compare against a Ford if you were, you know, doing a drag race. I mean, once the truck is broken in, you can do that, but hopefully you can hear the engine. It sounds really, really good. I think they're using a little mechanism to make it sound this burly. It sounds really good. I'm in the city right now. I've been driving for a little bit, probably like 3 miles. I'm getting like 13.1 mpg. But these trucks typically don't get good gas miles, you know, when they're, you know, brand new like this. This truck only has 20 miles on it, so figure once it has about 1,000, 2,000 miles, it'll start getting a little bit better. But for now, I mean, when I get back to the dealership, I'll let you guys get an idea, but it won't be a good true MPG run because it'll only be a few miles on the back road. This truck has a lot of, you know, guidance when you drive it. You have the lane keep assist, blind spot monitoring. This has adaptive cruise control. I didn't mention that in the last video. And there's like a sensor up front for that too. Even having this high definition rear view is really helpful. Having the heads up display, all this helps to keep you focused on the road. And yeah, I mean, having it in Sport Plus, I always want to say Sport Plus, but Sport S Plus, it really does like make this truck handle really well. One thing I've always noticed, my wife has a Lexus ES350. The cooled seats don't work as good inside the Toyotas and Lexus. I think because they push air out. I like what some manufacturers do. They'll have them where they suck the air in, and I can feel it a little bit better, like cooling your back down. So I would like to see them do something a little different, because I have it on like the second setting, and it's I can feel it. It's definitely working, but when I sit up, I can feel the air. But like if I sit back onto the seat, it's just not as effective on cooling. But their heated seats inside of here work amazing. One thing I would like to see from Toyota too is allowing you to see what gear you're in. It may be a way to set this screen up to be able to see that, but I don't see that you're able to do so right now. And I did just move it over into the manual side, and it still doesn't show you what gear you're in. If you don't know, I don't think I mentioned it in this video, this truck does have 389 horsepower, 479 pound-feet of torque. A fun fact, Toyota's one manufacturer that I know that does this, but they do use a stainless steel exhaust system for this truck. And of course that's going to help with corrosion. You don't have to worry about it, you know, corroding over time. And I'm not sure if Ram does that, or Ford, or even GM. but I know Toyota does that because they typically will list that in their description as they have a stainless steel exhaust. I just hit a bump just now in Sport S Plus. I almost said Sport Plus S again. And yeah, I can tell that this suspension is a little bit tighter. It's not ridiculously tight. It's Toyota tight. And what that means is it's not too much, but not enough, just to be completely honest. But overall, I'm happy with the way this truck handles. I'm happy with the way it drives. Just some negatives is the wind noise I'm hearing from the sunroof, but I think that could be fixed pretty quickly, you know, at the dealership. And yeah, like I said, I love this truck. I mean, I was only able to get about 15 miles to the gallon as it's going back up as I'm coasting back down. But I think if you were to take this on the highway and if you were to drive it normally, I think you could easily get the fuel economy numbers that you saw on the window sticker. But hey guys, I'm gonna go ahead and park this truck back. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to reach out to Jones. Let him know you saw this video. And I hope you have a nice day.